One.
Hey, it's back.
Hello, welcome to another episode of Heroes in Training. Going to be a short one today. We are going to try and wrap up our separate mentor episodes. So we've got Palladium battling a volcano. He's just defeated an alien rhino for the time being. But it could get back up. We've got Left Wing fighting off versus Sleeves, our resident tattoo villain, and we've got
Seems like a step down from Alien Space Rhino.
yeah, it does. I mean, in the grand
I'm
scheme
just
of
kidding.
things, but there's a different kind of
Yeah.
a different kind of struggle here
Right.
too. But we've also got Bastion. I forgot his name for a second. Bastion fighting off against Inferno. Well, I guess more like running from Inferno while Dragon attempts to fight him off. And he's on Soul Impact's back. Caleb, are you able to get the new token for Soul Impact as we're going here? Maybe during
Probably
David and Sleeves.
not,
Okay, that's fine.
because mainly just because the computer I'd have to do it on is the one where I'm running the stream, and it would probably
Oh,
overtax
sure.
things
Yeah,
by
yeah.
opening up Photoshop and starting to do a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll have to wait to reveal his 2.0 in the future. Okay, so let's start off with Palladium versus the volcano, because we ended off with Bastion last
Cool.
session.
Sounds like a cage match.
I was gonna say it
The
sounded like a band
volcano
name.
is over his convictions and he's ready to crush you in a lava ledge.
That's right, a lavalanche.
Anyways,
So remind me what was going on with that, Connor. So I'm like staring at a volcano, and I gotta do what now?
So you're
drink
in
it,
the
I
trial.
think, right?
You're in the trial.
Yeah.
Right, like the trial to become a knight.
Yeah.
And so the idea is the alien initiates can absorb the power of the volcano to face off against the rhino, and as long as they kill the rhino, they win. But part of your situation is you can't drain the energy, so you're not only fighting the rhino, but you're also fighting the volcano.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so what am I supposed to do about this then?
That's the question. That is the question.
I did notice that I locked myself in. The only condition that I don't have is hopeless.
Yes.
And I think that's because I needed to use Unleash My Powers. Unfortunately, I also have a 0 to that.
Yep.
Currently.
Last episode,
Of one of your conditions at the end of last episode.
he didn't have the that option is to grow closer to the team, but he doesn't have anybody that is with him in the team that he grew closer to.
Yeah. So the question, I guess, is I can't even try to absorb it.
Oh no, you can try. I mean, so you can't absorb the volcanic energy in the same way that the aliens do.
Yeah, you can't eat
but
it like a
I
plant
believe
like they do. But yeah.
Yeah. I believe your goal was to try and absorb the thermal energy out of the volcano. And I don't know if you still have this backup plan, but last session you mentioned that you have a backup plan in case you fail, in case you don't succeed.
Oh, that would be great to know.
Yep.
I think it's probably one of the new moves I got.
I think you meant like you have an arc for your character if this doesn't succeed. If you fail the knighthood trial, I think that's what you're mentioning. Like if you lose here, you said that you have like a backup arc plan.
An idea of where that goes.
Well, I may have at one point,
Maybe,
but I don't remember
maybe
it
I don't know
now.
what. I mean, that's what it sounded like to me, but maybe.
Yeah. I think he said almost his exact words. Yeah.
Okay,
that
yeah.
sounds right to me. I'm sure I'll remember it in time. But for now, let's just hope I succeed on this roll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, tell me what you're doing first, and then if it sounds like freak.
It does sound like the best option is to try to like absorb the thermal energy, just try to take
unless it's the thermal energy is dangerous to the, which is not because they can eat it, but is dangerous to the people in the crowd, and then you can use savior.
So you're confined in like this like trial dome area. And like they can see you through like a transparent wall that's powered by like the volcanic energy.
Mm-hmm.
But when the trial ends, it'll go back to like normal volcanic wall.
Yeah.
Maybe we established this, but can you what is the difference between volcano energy and heat? Because I thought that was what volcano energy was.
So this isn't lava.
Oh, right. It's like
it's alien lava.
It's hot, right? Okay.
Yeah.
I think the idea was that because of the rhino, because I was able to kind of absorb the thermal energy from that, and that seemed to do something to it, without killing it or whatever, right? Without, like, I'm going to attempt to do the same sort of thing, take the residual heat surrounding it, so that hopefully it will like solidify into a solid or something, and then, because I think that's one of the things that's keeping it in a fluid state, I think is what we had decided. Based
I remember
on
making a conversation about how you could turn it to rock. Or no, you couldn't turn it to rock. I think
yeah.
Right?
You fill me in on what that was about.
So you drained the heat out of the energy, out of the like alien lava energy, out of the rhino. So the rhino had the orange lava like in its like what's the word? Like in little ravines in its body, right? You drained the heat out of that energy, and it's turned from an orange to purple, and then it solidified. It like turned to like a dull gray, and just kind of like the creature just kind of like fell over.
Mm-hmm.
So that whatever happened there, I'm not gonna like. I don't want to tell you exactly what happened there, so that because you wouldn't actually know exactly what happened there.
Yeah,
It's like alien physiology.
Sure.
But that's what you're basing your knowledge of this off of.
Either way, I don't know if I have another possibility. So I think that's just what I got to do. So, sorry, I'm just double checking to make sure that the stream is actually running on where it properly should be. I really can't think of another thing to add to this. I think I'm just rolling freak. It's just complete luck.
Yeah.
That's happening here. Yeah. It says it's going. Okay. Yeah, so as long as you're fine with me just rolling that, I guess that's just what I try to do. I step forward and I just start trying to absorb as much. I think what I do is like I if I had anything in myself right now, any energy, but in my armor, right, still, I would just dissipate it, as much as I could. So I'm like a blank slate, and then just take as much of it as possible.
So not to be pedantic, again, but like second time in this session, how does you transfer this energy into a like more solid energy, right? Like you're absorbing these elements and you change it into like a more solid energy in your armor. So when you dissipate it, are you able to just like return it to heat? And just like vent it from your armor, or are you like shooting out energy?
I think I could do both. Mainly because I believe that's what I do with the kinetic energy at the very least, right? Like as I'm absorbing it and I could use it to do like the normal stuff I do, but a lot of times I'm just like boom, like getting rid of it in a wave. So I am converting it somehow. It's just but it can remain a general heat. It doesn't have to.
So it's an optional conversion to energy.
I would say so.
Okay. I just couldn't didn't know the answer to that question. So go
Yeah,
ahead.
yep.
So you dissipate the heat, then I'm assuming, and then
Yeah, that's the idea.
trying
And
to pull in
we'll
the
just
heat from the
See what
lava,
happens.
or from the alien lava.
Yeah.
To be clear.
Yep.
Yeah. So go ahead and roll freak. See how you do. There's a 50% chance that you fail and don't complete the night trial.
Uh-huh. I'm just gonna double check all of my moves real quick. You give yourself to saving someone, being a terrible enemy. Does this count as defeating a terrible enemy?
No.
Okay. Oh, actually, that one wouldn't have worked anyway. It says when you commit yourself to save someone or defeat a terrible enemy, mark a condition and take +1 ongoing. So I would just kill myself.
Yep. Well, not kill yourself, but take yourself out of the fight.
Which, I mean, he's trapped in here with a volcano, so I feel like this is the same.
Well,
same answers.
It's possible. See what Vulcan does.
Oh, man. Too bad I didn't take... I think I got an advancement last time. Too bad I didn't take Moment of Truth. Temporarily unlock my Moment of Truth.
Right,
that would have been helpful here. Darn.
Well, but then your Moment of Truth would be gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is kind of a moment of truth sort of moment.
I think I can get it again later on in the game. But
I think you can get it twice.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm gonna fail this, but
You're not as bad at coin flips.
I got nothing. Okay, here we go. Oh, of course. There it is.
Figures, yeah.
So you try to absorb this energy, right?
Yeah.
You start absorbing the heat from it, and like same thing happens is some of the lava starts to like turn purple. And I think the camera like pans over to like the alien audience, and some people like gasp like oh, what is he doing to our lava? Never seen this before. But I think there's just too much of the lava. I think you haven't been draining it as you've been fighting, and this fight has, especially from the narrative that we've given, has gone on longer than the others' fights have gone on.
Yeah.
So there's more lava to quell, and it just keeps erupting, and more start coming, and it's just overwhelming to you. What does Palladium do in the face of this failure? Because like I can make a move, right? But would Palladium try and like get out of the trial, or would he try and like stand his ground and like just risk getting killed by the lava? Like what is his mindset here?
Is there a risk that it's going to hurt anyone else? Is this just for my sake that like
I think it's just for your sake. Generally speaking, like they can just eat the lava, right? Like they can just all absorb it.
Sure.
So if it did like seep out, they would just do that.
Yeah. Well, I really don't have any other like moves to use here. Is there what does assess the situation do?
Yeah, you could roll superior and try and
I think that's probably my best bet right now.
So I get to make a move though. So I'm just wondering.
Yeah, go for it.
So I was wondering if you were trying to get out, or if
it's just seeping through right now. It's just like getting closer and closer, and there's nothing. It's not
seeping through. So there the ring that you're in is like a circle with a hole, like a donut hole, right? And the donut hole is lava, and it's erupting up through the ceiling.
Oh, okay. I don't think I caught that.
And so that, and it's kind of like, it's like a geyser, right? It's like a geyser that's shooting up through the middle of the room. So you're trying to drain it to like quell it, and it's starting to like spray into the room you're in. Put it that way. The geyser's getting bigger. I'm
just taking cautious steps back. Was I able to? Sorry, I think I missed this. Was I able to absorb any heat at all?
Yeah. So some of it started turning purple.
But then it's just not enough to matter.
Yeah, it's not enough.
Yeah, so I'm like taking steps back and then just like glancing around like, okay, what's going on? How do I, yeah. But you can do your move if you'd like.
I'm trying to figure out, because, I mean, I could just conflict a condition on you.
Don't do that, please.
Which it'd be perfect too, it'd be hopeless, but then you're just out for for this situation. And I'm really interested to see where this goes. So,
if you take mana, I guess I'll just let you guys play it. I'll just go get some breakfast or something because.
I think. I think the consequence here is, you tried to prove yourself to the aliens, right? You tried to prove yourself to be worthy of this knighthood, even though you're a human. And I think with this situation, I think in the other room, you can't understand what they're saying, and you can't even hear what they're saying probably. But I think the consequence here is, we get like subtitles from one of the Grand Council chairmen, and he says, "End the trial. Just stop the trial."
So I had a sort of consistency question. So
yeah,
all you have to do to win is beat the Rhino, right? Which he did. Normally, they would have just been over when he beat the Rhino, right? Because
no, you have to control the.
You're controlling the volcano to kill the Rhino.
Right.
But as Palladium was going in the room, Vulcan specified that. He said, "I tried to tell them that you can't absorb that energy, but they said it's still part of the trial for you to quell the volcano."
Oh, okay. I thought the volcano was like there just to help them. So I was like, I don't understand why.
It's both. The aliens eat that generally,
right?
Or like normally.
Absorb it.
Yeah, as like their life source. They don't like put it in their mouth, but like they absorb it to like live, like sunlight, kind of a situation. But for this specifically, part of the trial is to show that they have mastery over the lava and that they can like use more than normal, that their armor can absorb that energy.
Okay, gotcha.
So basically they were like, okay, well, he needs to absorb the energy into his armor, and even though he can't do it in the same way, he still needs to prove that he can do the thing that the knights can do.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. That makes sense.
I just realized I do get to mark potential because I failed.
Yes, you do. So I think it
happens so rarely that
yeah. I think the situation here is they start to end the trial, right? Like one of the Grand Council members is like, just end the trial, like open the door, pull them out, I'll drain the energy. And so you've lost the good faith of the room, so to speak. But if you want to continue to try and win,
I have to.
You can.
Yeah. So I think as much, right? Like,
just to be clear.
Yeah.
Well, you don't hear that they're trying to end the trial because you have no idea. Not only can you not speak their language, but you can't hear what they're saying anyway.
Very true.
But I think the consequence here is, even if you find a way to win at this point, they've already said the trial is done. So you might be able to prove it to yourself and to Vulcan, but not to the aliens.
Well, Palladium doesn't know that, so
yeah. So Palladium's still trying to win.
If they had like opened the ring like right now, I'll be like, no, I can do it.
Right.
Like,
yep.
Yeah.
But go ahead and roll if you're trying to assess the situation.
I definitely am. Yeah.
So go ahead and roll that, and based on the result of that, we'll see what they do. The door will probably open, and you can react to them. But
I am going to get a -2 to this, unfortunately. So see how it goes. Hey, once again, another 4.
Wow. So you try to assess the situation. And you basically are like, well, I just need to like drain the energy this way. I'll like make some armor calibrations or something like that. But what you miss is the Rhino has gotten some of the lava again, and he's off to the side. You don't see him, and he gets back up and is glowing orange again, and he's about to charge you.
So poorly. This is great.
Yep, because you didn't actually kill the rhino. You didn't
Yeah.
actually inflict that second condition to take
That
him
makes
out of the
total
fight.
sense.
You just kind of like paralyzed him for the time
Yep.
being. So then, yeah, the door opens, and one of the Grand Council members like calls for you in an alien language to like pull you out. And I think Vulcan like jogs up next to him and is like, "Palladium, it's over."
As soon as the door opens, okay. Have I noticed the rhino by that point?
You have not.
Okay.
You failed the superior roll, so you have not noticed the
Okay,
rhino.
so the door opens. I say, no, wait. I can do this. And I'm like focusing on the geyser. And then Vulcan says that, right? And I turn back to be like, oh man, like sort of like I'm not saying I'm gonna say that, but basically just like a Vulcan, please, like I'm a pleading look towards him. And then that's when the rhino just like I would just say it just hits me, and as long as it like doesn't actually do any damage, like we can just get that narrative moment of like it flings me across the room, and I if you're fine with that, Connor.
Well, I think
because I want to try to fight it. I'm not leaving this ring.
Well, I think
I got one condition left. I'm not hopeless.
I think the failure here though is you didn't notice the rhino, and so it just hits you with an inflicts a condition. I think that's the situation.
I see.
So I think you're just like, because I mean you failed twice in a row, and I haven't done much to you.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I think
besides Mark, 1, 2, 3, 4 conditions.
I think some of those conditions were self-inflicted.
Yeah,
they were. Two of those were self-inflicted.
Yeah.
Actually, 3 of those were self-inflicted.
Yeah.
And the one that wasn't self-inflicted, you chose to not block the strikes of the rhino, remember?
Not to lock the strike. What?
You rolled danger against the rhino, and one of the options is to block or resist their blows.
Oh,
and
yes.
you did not choose that option, even though you got a full hit.
Well,
So-
I'm sure I had a good reason.
Well, yeah, your
So
reason
I'm
was
just-
you wanted to take the energy from the rhino instead. So that it worked out well, but
Yeah.
now you don't have enough conditions. So I think I love that scene though, where the rhino just like, you're like, no, I can do this, and then the rhino just like hits you.
Just completely.
And
Like, wait, I
Palladium
think this
just
is
blacks
rolling.
out.
I think this is rolling to take a powerful blow, though. Is there a chance that I don't get a condition here?
Well, he gets to choose. He either has you roll that, or he just gives you. 'cause
Oh,
he can
that's
just give
true.
you-
I had you roll to take a powerful blow last time from the rhino. So yeah, you can roll it again. So
Yeah,
there
that's-
is a chance that
It's
you
a
don't.
chance, yeah.
Yeah, but the other chances you're completely taken out of the fight and not.
Yeah, I
just
mean,
marking
that's gonna
condition.
happen no matter what at this point, so I'll at least
Uh-huh.
like the chance.
yeah.
Okay, here we go. I'm rolling this to a +4 because of all my conditions.
Yep.
Hopefully, my failure will reverse.
Literally, the only way you get out of this unscathed is if you roll double ones. Yeah.
Oh,
Just- just
literally
one
a 2
off.
and a 1.
Yes.
I was so
one
close.
off.
Oh no!
That was so close.
Wow.
So-
What a rip-off.
Then you still just mark a condition, and then. Well, I
It
think
doesn't matter.
there's more than. Let me just look at the
Yeah, just
peripheral
go and
moves.
look
I
at it.
think.
I think it's choices to make. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, on a 7 to 9, you lash out verbally, provoke a teammate to foolhardy action, or take advantage of your influence to inflict a condition. That's not relevant here. You give ground, your opposition gets an opportunity. You struggle past the pain, mark 2 conditions.
Real quick. Can I unmark insecure? Could I have unmarked insecure before this? Take foolhardy action without talking to your team. Stay in the
There-
ring. Don't
There
listen,
isn't
Vulcan.
necessarily a team here that you're.
Yeah. But then in which case there's, I guess, all the other ones I could do. It
And
just feels weird that I can't.
Well,
I
and
would
generally
basically never be able to
speaking,
do that then.
Well, I mean, if you were with us, you could. I mean, I would argue that Vulcan kind of counts, but
That's what
I
I was
don't know that because I mean, team is kind of vague. But
yeah, okay.
I mean, that's up to Connor whether or not that's the case.
Because otherwise I would have been like, okay, and then just gone straight to the door, right? Like I listened. I'm insecure, right? I need to prove myself. And if I get to unmark that, I got a 6. Come on, Connor, for the story.
So let's put it to you this way. On a 7 to 9, choose one. You could lash out verbally, since we're considering Vulcan as a teammate. You could provoke him to foolhardy action instead of inflicting a condition.
I don't know what that would accomplish.
You
provoke him to foolhardy action, like force the council to let me continue the trial.
Yeah, you could roll to provoke him to.
Okay. This is what we see. I'm totally down going that route. So I've already made the roll anyway. It is kind of cheap to try to give me a -1 after the fact.
Well, especially because I definitely want to set the standard for unmarking conditions, that you make that choice purely based off of the narrative and not as a result of a roll.
Yeah, I agree.
Although in this situation it wasn't the result of a roll, but you're trying to change the result of a roll after
yes,
it
exactly.
happens.
I should have specified beforehand.
Right.
So I think instead we do see me get tossed across the room like a rag doll, right?
Yep.
But I survive, right? I don't black out immediately. I might black out in a moment here if things go wrong, but I get ragdolled and then manage to I get into I'm in an uncontrolled roll and then I get into a controlled roll and kind of skid, and I'm barely standing, and just kind of lift my head and I'm trying to think of can I say like in most things what am I trying to say? Like in for flavor, right? My helmet has been knocked loose. Right?
Well,
or
if your helmet gets knocked loose on this planet, you die, right?
That's true.
You can't breathe the atmosphere.
That's true.
So maybe parts of your maybe your shoulder pad is off or something.
I definitely think there's part of my armor that's off.
Maybe your visor is cracked, but not open cracked.
Yeah, if this was Iron Man, it would be saying incoming hull breach detected. Atmospheric stability at
your armor does talk to you, but so your armor is
well, it's impressions, but yeah.
Oh yeah, not like beeps and boops like R2-D2. Sorry. Forgot for a second there how it talks to you. So yeah, it's like dread. It's as if you can feel his heartbeat racing.
Vibrating
that's
the whole suit.
Yeah, that's the feeling you get from him.
Yeah. But yeah, so I kind of come to a slide and look over, see the rhino, and it's getting ready for another charge, and I look at Vulcan and I just say Vulcan, I'm not done. Give me a chance.
Vulcan says it's not my place to say. The council has decided.
What's the actual move here? Is provoke someone? Does it matter who I provoke?
Provoke someone susceptible to your words. Say what you're trying to get them to do and roll plus superior.
Does this count for what was the condition I had to choose for take a powerful blow? It was lash out at. Does it specify who I need to lash out?
You lash out verbally, provoke a teammate to foolhardy action, or take advantage of your influence to inflict a condition.
That's what I was wondering. So it kind of has to be Vulcan.
Yeah,
I can't provoke the random council member. Not that he can understand me anyway.
You have to tell Vulcan to try and stop them.
Yeah. So he says it's not up to me. What was the exact words again?
He said it's not my decision to make it. It's up to the council has decided.
Oh man, how do I spin that? That's pretty solid. Pretty unyielding.
I mean, you could just say then make them listen. I mean,
yeah. My first instinct was then undecided for them.
I don't know. That sounds like something Palladium would say.
Yeah, probably.
It doesn't have to make sense.
Yeah. I was I need you to undecide it for them. Make them listen, Vulcan. And then I get to my feet and make a boxing stance, basically, right?
Mhm.
Like I typically do. And I think I say, I'm not leaving this ring until I win.
Go ahead and make the roll. But
You
if
gotta
you
roll,
fail
yeah.
this roll, you're not going to get another XP.
What?
You don't get XP for failing rolls when we did this last time too. When someone took a powerful blow, and you lashed out verbally. You don't get
is that a Connor decision or an actual?
I don't know if it doesn't. I didn't read somewhere where it explicitly specifies in the roll or in the rule. But if you fail something and then are forced to make this roll, you don't get XP for also failing that roll. Is what I decided.
Well, but I don't get XP for failing.
You get XP for failing the superior roll, which caused you to take a powerful blow, which you could have gotten XP for. Which you could have gotten XP for, but then the consequence of this roll is forcing you to make another roll.
So if I had gotten to fail on, yeah, that's right. You're right. It's 6 minus is the
yes.
I see. Okay, yeah, that's okay then. Yeah. Okay, I'll make the roll. I don't think I have anything to add to this either, and I have a -2. I think, yeah, this is gonna be bad.
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
and that's why I did that. Yeah,
that's why I'm like, you shouldn't mark XP when you're being forced to make a roll.
But I mean, like a lot of the
because
game
like
then
it's just stacking XP.
Like I mean, pretty much most of the game is like I did a thing, and now you're like, okay, well this happens, and you're like, okay.
No, but
I think it just means as a result of this, he
failed a roll, and so the consequence is he rolled to take a powerful blow, and then the consequence that he chose of that forces him to make another roll. Which then, if he fails that, I could potentially force him to make another roll.
Yeah, but that's just how the game works. I think is what David is saying.
Yeah, that's just the thing. It doesn't specify whether a move, like how the move happens. It's just if you're making a move. The thing is that he.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That's a good point.
I don't know. I mean,
I think like that is the game, right? It's like something happens, it landslides, you have to make another roll. Something happens, it landslides, you have to make another roll.
Yeah. All right. That's fine.
All right. Cool.
Hopefully, it won't matter.
I didn't mark that other potential. Well, if I fail enough times here, maybe I'll get an advancement and unlock my moment of truth. I just need to last out until my moment of truth. That's what I'll do.
Well, that's the other thing, also, Connor. If there's like a accumulating failures, you can always just apply conditions, right? If you're like, okay, this has gotten out of hand to the point where like the character should be spiraling.
This is my last straw.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, if I fail the superior roll, you could just literally just be, okay, cool, you feel hopeless now, you just fall unconscious. Yeah. All right, well, that's probably what will happen, but we'll see. Yep.
Yeah.
There's a fail. I don't think there was anything I could add to that either. Like, I don't really have any moves that target superior, so.
Yeah, I think you fail at convincing Vulcan, right? So I think Vulcan just looks at you and shakes his head and just says, Palladium, you can't win this. And I think that's when you're just like, just like maybe like all the weight of the blows just kind of like makes you like slump to your knees. And
I would like to say that like I look at Vulcan, I look to the Rhino. The Rhino's kind of like maybe pacing, like kind of waiting to because maybe he sees the other two in the
no wind. The Rhino's about to charge you again.
Okay, yeah.
It's about to kill you.
I was trying to come up with a reason why it hadn't already done so. Right. But yeah, so it's getting ready to, and I look to it, I look to Vulcan, and I see in his Vulcan's eyes, like he's like, this is not gonna work, my dude. And I just look back at the Rhino and I just go
Yep. And we see Vulcan like fly in towards the volcano, well lit with a bunch of like draining all the energy out of it, and then like fires a huge blast at the Rhino and kills it, and then goes over and picks you up and says, not today, but maybe someday. and walks out of the ring. And then we'll cut over to left wing versus Sleeves.
Hey, I shoot him in the back. Okay.
I was wondering if you were gonna do that.
Although last, I did have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
If you can set the scene first if you want, but
no, go ahead. What's your question?
Are the guns that we both have now both came out of his tattoos? Are they the same gun? Same kind of gun? Do they look the same?
They are not the exact same gun.
Okay.
But they're both 9mm.
Sure. Yeah. I just basically, if I swap them while he's down, will he notice when he picks it up that it's not the same gun?
I think that's a roll. I think that's a superior roll, or what's the word? What's the, you have a roll that's like, you have like a specific roll that's like tricking people. Yeah, I feel like that's that roll.
Okay, cool. Then go ahead and we can reset the scene, and I'll get ready to make that.
Yeah. So he we get the like the anime like end of the last episode. You see it again, where we see Sleeves like opening up his shirt and spraying out the shrapnel. Right. But then we get like the slow-mo cool like side view scene where you just like swap, and the shrapnel just ends up hitting him instead. And I think he probably like falls into the wall with like the concussiveness of the shrapnel in his back.
Yeah. I thought he hit
not the concussiveness,
the ground,
like
right? The shockwave.
Yeah.
Because like he was in front, like by where the car had pulled away, and I was in like the little alleyway, right? And we switched, so I thought he fell into the alleyway. Is that right? I thought he was on the ground, I guess. Is what I
fell into the alleyway. You guys are on like the same level.
Well, I mean, like fell over. Like
sure,
out of the alleyway ground.
Yeah. So we can just say he fell.
That's how I imagined
fell into the
it.
ground.
So yeah, I was just thought maybe I was missing something.
I had thought that you had came from the building.
Yeah, so I guess I imagined it like if we're at the building, I'd come out and they were like down the alleyway in a car.
Oh yeah, that makes more sense. Yeah.
And then
so he takes the shrapnel and like falls to the ground. And because of him receiving a condition, I'm gonna make a move with Sleeves, which is he pretends to be dead.
Okay. Oh yeah, I guess he hadn't said that. Okay.
So you think you've won?
Okay. Well, I'll assess the situation here first, then, because I mean it's hard to know if. I mean, like, yeah, I'm gonna try and see if he's dead, right?
Yeah.
Because I probably like point the gun at him, and then I think I'm gonna do this anyways, just in case, because before I know that he might be dead, I'm gonna do this other thing. So I'm gonna
take the mag out of the.
Well, I'm gonna turn the safety on my gun, and then switch it with his.
Yeah.
So that if he tries to shoot me, he'll click and I won't. And then, do you want me to roll for that first?
Yeah. Roll the trick. See what.
Yeah. So yeah, when you mislead, distract, or trick someone, roll plus superior. Cool.
Are you watching closely? I love that.
7 to 9. Yeah. 7 to 9, choose 2. This almost feels like it should just be a thing for everybody. I get 2 of these. I get an opportunity. I expose a weakness or flaw. I confuse them for some time or avoid further entanglement. I'm going to pick the last 2 and avoid further entanglement and confuse them for some time. The idea is if he tries to use his gun, he's going to be confused, right? Because he's going to have to figure out why it's not going off. And
on a 7 to 9, you get to choose 2.
Yeah, on a hit, it's 3.
On a full hit, it's 3. Wow.
Yeah.
So like it's even an upgraded version of like.
Mm-hmm. On a miss, you take a condition automatically, though. So.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay.
It's kind of a risky move. I actually forgot about that. I just read that now. I was like, ooh. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I do that. I swap the guns. And then I walk up with Sleeves. And I like get closer. And I'm like gonna try and like push him over with my foot. And then I guess I'm gonna try and determine if he's dead before he has to do anything. When he was just right, okay. This is just regular assessing the situation, right?
Yep.
Okay. Cool.
So ask one.
I'm gonna read my special questions.
Oh yeah, you have special ones too.
I'm just gonna see if any of them are better. They're not. Okay.
Yeah, not sure what. I mean, I can just tell you if he's dead or not, which he's not. So that
can
can be the.
Anyways, yeah. I guess what here is the greatest danger? I don't know.
Right. So what here is the greatest danger, and then it's him.
He's not dead.
Yeah. Yeah. He's not dead.
All right.
Not dead skin of
not
sleeves.
Deadness.
Yeah. That's the threat. So in which case, do you still like kick him?
Probably not. I probably go to do it, and then maybe I see his rib move a little bit or something, and
you see him
a little bit
of breath.
And I pull back, and I'm like,
and as you pull back, he tries to grab your foot, but obviously he misses because he was expecting you to do that.
Yeah.
He pulls out, and then he sees that you took a step back, and he tries to pull his gun, and he clicks it, and tries to pull the trigger, but nothing happens.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think I'm just gonna have to shoot him because the thing is, he can just undo a safety. It's not a very permanent fix.
Right.
And so the idea is here is if he tried something even from here, I'd be able to get him anyways. So I don't really know that there's a lot of thought in it, right? He just sees him pointing the gun. He's like, okay, this was the plan. And so I think he's just gonna shoot him.
Okay. Yeah.
Which. Does he underestimate me? I don't really know. I mean, he definitely thinks he has a drop on me, right? Because otherwise he wouldn't be pointing the gun at me.
So he definitely thinks he has the drop on you.
Okay.
But
I'm asking for Space Bandit. Whether or not I can roll
Space Bandit.
The little Space Bandit. If they underestimate me, I get to roll superior instead of danger.
Oh yeah, you can do that.
Cool.
That makes sense in this situation. But then. As another piece of the puzzle here is Countess is in this situation. So we get really slow-mo situation, right?
Sure.
So he's lifting up the gun, and we see him try to pull the trigger, and he looks at the gun, and then you're pulling up your gun and are about to shoot, and we see Countess falling, and she's right above the both of you.
But I don't see her, right?
I think you see her in this instance, yeah.
Okay, so if that's the case, then he probably goes to shoot him and then sees Countess and then I mean, trying to think, this game doesn't have I sort of wish this game had a compel or something like that would help me make this decision about whether or not he has the presence of mind to stop and let her deal with it, or to just shoot him.
Yeah.
Right. Because he doesn't have presence of mind.
I think instead the answer to this, in this system is, what does Left Wing do? And that's the interesting piece is he sees both, but does he have the peace of mind, or does he really just want to shoot him? Let's frame it like that.
Shoot him, I don't think. Right.
So maybe he doesn't have the peace of mind or the quickness of mind to stop pulling the trigger, but maybe once you see Countess, you pull your gun away. So you're pulling the trigger,
I think we'll maybe leave it up a little bit ambiguous. I think what happens is so he points the gun at Sleeves. He's had it pointed. The Sleeves whips around, clicks, and then we see sort of hesitation from Left Wing. His hand sort of shakes a little bit, and then we see Countess come down, and it's sort of we're not sure whether or not he couldn't pull the trigger or if he saw Countess and decided not to.
I like that.
And maybe he's not sure, right?
Yeah. And when I said does he want to shoot him, I didn't mean consciously, but subconsciously. Is there any part of him that does want to shoot this guy.
Yeah, I
Or-
don't think left wing's ever killed anybody before.
Right. No, for sure not.
And it is hard for, as much as Hollywood heavy blue, otherwise, it's hard for people to kill people.
Yep.
To decide to kill people, which is why I was thinking if it was like a split second like reaction, he could do it. But otherwise, I don't think he can, at least not right now. So, I think we sort of get him like his hand sort of tenses, but nothing happens, and then Countess drops down.
Yeah. And she grabs both guns and then like combat rolls to the ground, and at the end of the roll she like puts her hands out and the mags come out of both guns.
Nice.
And she what do you do after that then? Like what is the
I think
like in that moment what
he just kind of steps back, I think, and we see him sort of just like step back against the wall. The alleyway, and sort of just like looks a little dazed maybe.
Countess turns around. I think Sleeves is probably terrified, right? He like looks towards Countess and is like, oh no, I'm so dead. Left wing tried to tell me I'm so dead now.
Yeah. And then I think left wing probably like sort of on a automatic level is like they didn't drive off. I shot the tire. They went down that way with the money or the jewels or whatever it was.
She says, I already tied them up.
Oh, I guess I should have figured. and then, I think he sort of like zones out.
And Sleeves is like, what? No. And Countess is like, hold up. But like just puts a hand up. Like I think Sleeves like goes to like grab for what you see is like a giant like samurai sword down his arm. He like goes to grab it, and Countess says, hold up. Your fight's not with me. And she looks back at you and is like, finish what you started. And she like to both pistols, and she's like, but no guns.
What? He has weapons.
Yeah.
And so why? He's just gonna pull a gun or a sword.
But the Countess is Countess can handle him, right? But she's like, she's like, no guns. Like, but go ahead and finish what you started.
I think something like sort of he snaps her like, what are you doing?
She looks at you and she's like, this is a way. How does she frame this? I don't know. I think she just looks at you. I don't think she says anything, and she just gives you a nod. Like that's all.
I don't think I know what that nod means.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Left Wing probably just grumbles something about her being crazy, and then gosh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm trying to think of what he would do.
And then Left Wing gets chopped in half with a sword.
Yeah, he gets stabbed, I guess. Gosh, okay.
You could take his power and then fight him like a mano a mano.
Yeah, but I'm not good at that.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah, I guess I'll do that, right? So yeah, I guess I look at him and like, crazy. I look at her and like, all right, I guess no guns, and then I'll steal his power.
Okay. Go ahead and roll freak.
Yeah. Sick.
Nice. Okay, so he go like he like is really confused by Countess, but then looks at you and is like, I can take him, and like reaches into like grab the hilt at his arm, and nothing happens.
Yeah.
He's like,
like as Left Wing is stealing the power, he's going to go in for it because he knows that that's what he's doing, and he knows it won't work. Well, he's hoping it won't work. I guess I could have failed the roll. So he's going to try and take that opportunity to just like deck him before he can pull out the sword, or figure out that he can't pull out the sword. Yeah, I guess I'm not really getting my bonus from my assess situation anymore, am I? Because him not being dead is obvious now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just trying to avoid rolling danger here,
Yep.
basically. I don't. Well, I mean, it sounds like he still underestimates me, right? Because you're just like, oh yeah, I can take him. So is that enough for me to roll superior?
Yeah, I think so. Well, no,
Probably not
I
for the
think in
one
the
after
way that
this, right?
I think in the way that you're fighting him, I think you really is just or no, you took his power.
I just
Yeah,
get to use
you
a
are. You
different
still are
label.
outsmarting him. Yeah, go ahead. You can.
Well,
use
it's not
superior.
even that. It's just he has to underestimate me. That's the only requirement.
Right. Well, I just mean in the literal sense of like you're punching him. That just makes me think you're just directly engaging a threat.
So I am, but when I directly engage a threat, I
Right.
use superior. Yeah.
Right.
So that is what I'm doing. I just use a different stat.
Yeah.
But I imagine it probably won't. Like I guess if I hit him, he'll go down. It won't matter. But I think probably it wouldn't work after this if he knows that I can fight and he doesn't have his power. It probably wouldn't be work anymore. But so I'm hoping that this goes well. Otherwise,
Yeah.
And I mean, I guess if it goes badly, he'll still overestimate me. So maybe it's okay. Wow. All right. I mean, I'm not getting any XP here, but
yeah.
It's,
but it looks really cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, he goes to grab it, and you just
I see no guns. He goes to grab it, and I just clock.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, he just goes down, and
I think I look at him and I'm like, tried to tell you, man.
Yeah, Countess smiles and goes up to you, and I think she like gives you a punch on the shoulder, or I don't know, maybe that's out of character for her. She puts her hand on your shoulder and is like, "Good work."
I think either way is fine. Yeah, thanks. How did it go with the other guys?
I've been. She says, it was fairly quick. She gives you a knowing smile. I've been watching for a while.
Oh, okay. So like when he was about to blow me up, you were just hanging out up there.
She says, "Yeah, that one definitely caught me by surprise."
Cool. Well, I guess all is well that ends well.
So she says, but you saw through it. You reacted in time, and to be honest, I didn't jump down earlier because I trusted and knew that you could handle it. You're a good sidekick, Left Wing. You're gonna make a great hero. You just, and she like looks down at Sleeves unconscious. And like I think the like cops and like an ambulance shows up, and like they start running out so that we don't have to like try and stop the bleeding. As in we don't have to interrupt this conversation for you guys to try have to worry about him stopping the bleeding. And she says, you just need to decide. Sorry, I had this all planned out in my head. She looks at him and says, no, she looks at you. She says, I just needed you to figure it out on your own. And I wanted to see what you'd do. And she looks down at Sleeves and she like leans down, like crouches down next to him, and she says, I could sit him down and tell him what the right answer is for hours. And he wouldn't listen. I don't know why I'm blurry. And he wouldn't
Your
listen.
eyes are cheering up.
Yeah, it is. But he wouldn't listen. And I want you to be able to figure out the same answer for yourself, like I did. I could tell you what the right answer is all day, but until you figure it out for yourself, you won't reach the potential that I know you can. So I wanted to see you beat him up. What's so wrong with that?
Well, What if I had shot him?
Didn't. And you wouldn't have.
I tried to.
She kind of squints her eyes at you.
Yeah.
And she's like, I'm fast, but I'm not that fast. If you had wanted to shoot him, you would have.
No, I meant he pulled his gun, and my plan was that if he did that, I'd get him first, but nothing happened when I tried to shoot him. I couldn't do it. I don't know. I mean, isn't that bad? What if next time I should have shot him and you weren't there and I can't?
Yeah, she thinks about that for a moment, and then she says, she points at your chest and she says, that's an answer you'll have to figure out for yourself. And I trust that you'll make the right one.
Yeah. Yeah, he doesn't really like feel the same confident as she does, obviously.
Yep.
So I think yeah. Well, anyways, I guess we have more patrolling to do.
Yeah. And then she looks at the iPod that's in his that's tattooed in his wrist, and he's like,
yeah.
or she says, hopefully we'll get that back.
Oh, yeah. Sorry about that.
No worries. I've got another one at home.
Yeah.
And she inverts up through a building, and she's like, "Come on, let's go."
I think. Oh wait, never mind. It's the 2000. I was just saying, like, maybe you should just get an upgrade this time. But that's probably the best one I got. It's like you can get an iPod now or something.
Yeah, maybe on your smartphone or.
Yeah. Okay, sorry.
Is there? I wanted to make sure there's nothing else you wanted to say.
Oh no, sorry. She went up through the wall, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I think he just probably like shakes his head and like, I guess. So this is the thing I'm going to ask you. I intended for him to be able to swap places with like he could use the air. I think I've done this once. He could use air as like a target to swap, and it's probably more difficult than using mass. But
we've shown that before.
Okay, I just wanted to, because I was just like, I'll just teleport after her, but I wanted to make sure that wasn't like.
It's just it's more difficult for you,
right?
And so it probably takes longer.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. I mean, because technically the power the game gave me is just teleportation, right? It doesn't actually work. So like, the game is fine with that. But in
narrative canon, in combat, you are looking for things to swap with because it's harder to wrap your mind around it, at least at the moment.
Yeah, and we've established that mass has something to do with it, so I think it makes sense that it would be hard to do.
Yeah.
Or I don't know if it was mass or size. I guess it doesn't matter. That it has something to do with it, so it makes sense that air would be difficult.
Yes.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay,
so I guess I'll just teleport up after.
Yep. We are going to then cut over to Bastion if you're available, Jared.
Yeah, I'm just changing to Stinky.
Yeah. Should we wait a couple minutes?
That's okay. I can talk.
Okay. So the scene we had set for this is there was a smog.
I thought Dragon was on your side.
Oh man,
That's a good one.
You got me.
Thanks.
You got me. There's a smog around Dragon and Inferno, and they are kung-fuing it out. And you had bought some time with this smog. And
just because they're Asian, Connor, they're kung-fuing it out.
Man, killing me, Smalls. Trying to make me look like the bad guy here. You're on Soul Impact's back, and he's jumping from building to building. But this battle is definitely not over.
He has approximately 2 more conditions.
He does not have 2 more conditions. No. This scene isn't set in his conditions. This scene is set in how much time you can buy, or if you can escape.
But what if I beat him?
You can't beat him.
Okay.
I set that precedence before this battle even started. Okay. I was.
Well, I wouldn't beat him. Dragon would.
that is outside of the scope of your rolls.
Yeah.
But okay, so we zoom in on the smog, right? We get the like our little flashback sequence again, and Dragon gave him a nice punch in the stomach, right? And Dragon gives him a little punch in the stomach, and we see Inferno like reel with the pain, and we kind of see them like punching back and forth and using their flames and but like very small scope, like maybe like short range flames and flame attacks, and they're dodging and jumping forward and kicking and doing all sorts of cool, more like Avatar: The Last Airbender style, like firebending. And then we zoom out again with you and Soul Impact, and Soul's kind of like jumping from building to building, and he's like, oh yeah, it's working.
How's Dragon doing? I mean, for starters, I think we should establish how long does it take to like charge burn? Is that just something you can do whenever, or is that like?
I think you still have one burn that you have held,
one,
but you can't do much with that, right? That is a good question.
I just can't do my big boy one with.
Yeah,
I can do all of them except my big boy one.
I think you can. I don't know. Does your burn need to be expended? Does it say anything on that move?
No,
I don't have the move open for reference.
Yeah. I have it here. When you charge up your powers, roll plus conditions you have currently marked, and then just on.
Sure. Yeah. So yeah, I suppose that's something you could do in this moment is charge up your powers.
I'm just saying, will that take time and like screw the situation over, or is that just something I can do before I roll?
I mean, you're being carried anyways, right?
So you're being carried. So maybe you could be like, hey, take me over to this section. There's some carbon over there I can grab.
Okay. Cool beans. So yeah, this will determine if I spend 3 Doom track right now or not.
Okay. What?
Yeah. If I spend 3 Dooms, I can basically just get +3 for the scene for freak.
You mean 3 Doom?
Yeah.
We're using what?
Yeah. If I do infinite power 3 times, I can get +3 essentially.
Infinite powers is using a power from a different playbook. Yeah. So you've got 3 different moves that you want to use.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
To get, I think you can only use. Let's put that into play right now. I don't think you can use multiple moves at the same time to stack something.
Yeah,
but I think
you're using a move like
they're all ongoing things.
They're like passive.
Right, they're like passives.
Yeah.
They're
all different triggers as well.
Yeah, so I think that would be the narrative function, right? Is you need a separate narrative trigger for each one.
Yeah.
So I think, yeah, at the very least, I'll make stuff happen in between these triggers, right?
Well, the thing is, each move, like what happens in the move would trigger the next move.
So I'm not sure. You can go ahead and read them, but
okay. So I would start off with game face. When you commit yourself to save someone or defeat a terrible enemy, mark a condition and take +1 ongoing to all rolls in direct pursuit of that goal. And in doing that, I would mark angry.
Okay.
And then from there, I would. Sorry, I've got a lot of these.
He's been doing some studying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Coming for you, when you take a condition, take +1 forward against the person you blame most for causing it, which would be him. And I don't see it right now, but there's one that's get +1 when you have angry marked for the thing that made you angry.
I don't think the second one works in this situation since you're self-inflicting the angry condition. I think that's specifically for someone that hurt you, right?
Yeah.
Like if he had attacked you
Okay.
and triggered that, then I can see that. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So let's frame the scene as let's get your burn roll, and then I'm gonna make something happen.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and spend 1 doom though for the first one. Committing myself to the defeat a terrible enemy.
So that's also going to be a separate narrative trigger though, because right now soul impact is leading you away from the battle, because that's what you'd asked him to do.
Well, yeah.
So if
he's
you're
leading me
committing
away
yourself
to
to
commit to fight him, like I'm charging up the power. I'm not running away.
But he is running away, and you're on his back.
Oh.
So in order for you to like commit to going back to the fight, I think you'd have to like get off of his back or convince him to go back to the fight, right? That's the narrative trigger here, because right now he's running you away.
Oh, okay.
Because that's what you were told to do. You were instructed to.
And that's what you told Soul Impact to do. You said, "Get me out of here," and jumped into his arms.
Okay.
Which, as a reminder, it's literally illegal for you to be within like a certain range of this guy. So yeah,
Beaver Boy, we're far enough.
Beaver Boy.
if we go much further, I'm not going to be able to continue helping him.
He's like, yeah, that's the point. That's what you asked me to do.
No, stay close enough that I can use my ability. Just avoid his attacks.
He's, he pauses on a building, and he's like, no, I'm getting you out of here, and then like takes another jump. Like, this is what we were told to do, and this is what you asked. You helped him. Now it's over.
Well, yeah, I'm currently helping him. This isn't going to stay if we leave.
Okay. Yeah. He pauses and looks at you, and he's like, and hesitates, and then over the comms, oh no, actually, you wouldn't hear it over the comms. We cut from there.
We on the like Dragon already knows that like I'm helping him.
Yes, Dragon knows.
We already had a discussion, but over the comms that like I'm basically not running. I'm staying to help. Beaver Boy's not. I guess Beaver Boy might not be sold on that.
Dragon is also not sold on that.
But he's not sold, but he knows what's happening. He knows it's happening.
He knows that you're helping, but if he knew that your choice was between running or staying with the smog, he'd tell you to run. Yeah. But either way, so we're gonna be cut from there. Okay. Back to the. Sorry, we cut from there back to the sequence of Dragon and Inferno, and we see Dragon coughing up a storm. And Inferno says, "What's the matter, old man? You getting? Have you been drinking too much of this free air? I guess the air is much cleaner here." And he
poison resistance because he's from China.
Yeah, that's sad if American air is clean compared to where you are.
I mean, China's.
But I think it's that, but also his power uses up a lot more oxygen than Dragon's does, so he is not used to the slow oxygen, and he's older. His old lungs. Inferno kind of like looks around the smog, and he's like, he like sees like some open pockets of oxygen, and he like
how could he see the open pocket of oxygen?
In a
carbon dioxide's the same color as oxygen. It doesn't have.
Didn't you create a smoky smog, like a black smoke smog from the smoke from the fires of the buildings?
I'm pulling in. I mean, I guess.
He sees that there. He doesn't see open pockets. He doesn't see specific open pockets of oxygen.
It's for an area with
but he sees that there is still oxygen within this smog, and he takes in a deep breath, and just like gives out like a full body incineration, and burns up all the oxygen within this smog, and then runs. runs out of the smog and leaves Dragon in a coughing fit. And we come back to you, Jared, and I think you had told what's his name? Soul
Boy?
Impact Beaver Boy to get near a certain pocket of carbon, right? Because you're gonna roll burn.
Mm-hmm.
So he had still gone towards that direction, but you guys are stopped on a building thinking. So you can go ahead and roll your burn.
Can I spend the doom track since I'm committing to staying and fighting?
No, because the situation, you're still on his back, right? Like the situation is still that you're running. You haven't convinced him, and you haven't decided to get off his back.
I mean, I'm going to get off his back if he doesn't.
But I think you should resolve that then. You should be like, jump off his back and be like, you're going to have to fight me if you want me to come with. You know what I mean? So that way you're committing to committing to the bit.
I'll jump off if you don't if you don't help.
He says I am helping. I'm just not helping your ego of trying to get into this fight.
Eagle, my uncle's gonna die. What are you smoking, Beaver Boy? Come on.
He says, no. This is Dragon. If this is Dragon's end, you should honor his last wishes. He told you to run. We trust that we have to trust the heroes above us. Otherwise, what are we even doing here?
Left Wing is gonna hate this guy. Oh no, I'm just like, dude, Left Wing is gonna hate you, and I just jump off his back.
As soon as you jump off of his back, you look over to where the fight was, and Inferno is flying towards you and is about 20 feet from your face.
All right. Can I roll that burn now?
I think you used up all your time.
Wait, what? What? I said I was doing the burn though. I can't.
The whole time that you were having that conversation, you were gathering carbon.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Go ahead and roll. You just never described that you were doing that, so I was confused.
Did they change the sheets?
I don't know.
I saw some boxes randomly displayed, but
okay, here we go.
I don't know if that's like the condition boxes. A couple of them are in a weird spot, but
I'm gonna selfishly spend the team to get a 10 because I'm the last one. So,
selfishly spend the team. What do you do when you selfishly spend the team?
You have to describe how you make the team mad.
I think you're making the team mad right now, though.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, his team is basically Beaver Boy at this point, right? So.
Yep. Beaver Boy. Man, I hate that's gonna stick.
It's got alliteration. It's hard to beat that.
So I get 3 more burn and no conditions. And
oh right, okay, yeah, because you're using the team.
So I'm gonna gather up all the carbon and do something. I'm gonna try and do something he hasn't done before, because so far basically all he's done is just like draw carbon and not really like change it at all, just like manipulate what's there. So he's gonna try and, instead of carbon dioxide, since that's not working, he's gonna try and grab all like the carbon dioxide into the air and like shake off one of the carbon molecules, so it's carbon monoxide. And it's gonna explode because it's highly explosive.
Okay, if you can try and accomplish this.
Yeah.
Is the reason that he knows to do this because of another brain blast from the chemistry book he was reading?
Yeah, I'm basically keeping everything that he's doing right now tied to like what he'd find from like a fire safety thing that he read, like a grade school, elementary school packet.
Yep. So then
that he understood.
You can accomplish this, but if you were going to do that, this is going to be bad for you too.
Yeah.
So you could definitely might be able to buy time with it, right? Like maybe inflict another condition on this time box, right?
Mhm.
But if you're trying to make the air 20 feet near you explosive with the guy that has the most firepower you've ever seen, this might not work as well as it could. If he
You
was,
might die.
yeah. Well, you know,
What
you might
Connor's
have to
trying
roll
to
to take
say
a powerful
is,
blow.
are you sure?
Yeah, that's what I'm. Yeah, I just want to make before you make this roll, even if you succeed,
Well, the thing is,
that's what's going to happen, right?
Okay.
Also, like, isn't there quite a lot of that in the area? If you turned it all, wouldn't it blow up like part of the city?
Yeah, you are standing on top of a building too.
Well, I'm changing the carbon dioxide in the area to carbon monoxide, so it'd just be the stuff in that area.
Wasn't there
I'm
a
not
bunch
changing
of it, though?
like. Oh, yeah.
My point is, if it all explodes, won't it blow up like a chunk of the city,
No.
like around you? Why would
you are standing on a building?
Like it wouldn't blow up the city. It's not.
No.
No.
I mean,
It wouldn't
like
blow up
the
the
area
city,
around you. You're in a city.
If it makes an explosion, the building you're standing on and the building he's flying over might also partly explode. Just throwing that out there. You can still do it.
We're
obviously.
not in a conventionally abandoned part of the city that just has a bunch of abandoned buildings, like
definitely not.
Like My Hero.
No.
I want to know what's happening in My Hero's economic Japan status that like half the city is just abandoned. Half the country's abandoned.
I mean, it gets a lot worse.
Oh, yeah. It's already bad.
Yeah.
Okay. I suppose that should be like my finishing move then.
Okay. All right. So what does he do in this moment then?
Well, since he's like right in our face, I think he's gonna try and do like a defensive move.
Okay.
And kind of like just like grab the carbon from like below us in the building.
Okay.
And kind of like make like a dome around us while at the same time like descending like a floor below.
Okay.
And at the same time jumping on Beaver Boy. I'm like, okay, let's run again.
So
let's go.
So
you're moving the carbon from the building.
He's basically what he did with like the road, like just pulling it out of the like the cement and like the structure of like just the roof.
Okay, sure. Yeah.
And like making a dome at the same time is like descending.
Okay, gotcha. So pulling up the part of the roof so that way you guys fall off floor.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. For in my head, the way I picture that is you were like swapping the floors of the roof and the bottom floor, and I was like, I don't understand.
No.
Okay, yeah, that makes more sense.
No. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so go ahead and roll.
Am I rolling freak?
That would definitely be freak. Yeah.
Okay.
Get freaky.
Reshaping your environment is what this would be.
Yeah, full hit. Let's go, baby.
All right.
Nice.
Yeah. So he like.
All right. Wait. We're good with the doom. The Janet or the move to on the committing myself since I'm fighting him and got off his back. Not that it matters because I got an 11, but
let's see what happens, right? Because
that's just a 10 then.
Well, it wouldn't matter either way.
Yeah, I'm just letting you know.
Okay, yeah. So you fall through a floor, the the carbon dome like wraps up, like seals right. Like we just see his face through the seal, right? Like the open part of the carbon, and as soon as he like is reaching out his hand, and then we see the like carbon seal up, and you guys fall down a floor, but then that carbon dome that you see just completely incinerates. And then you jump on Salt Impact's back, and he's like, oh,
as
crap.
we're running, I'm like, do you understand now? There's no escaping this guy. We either fight him here or Dragon dies on his own, then he catches up to us and kills both of us. Do you understand the situation we're in now?
Yeah, he is running and like jumps out the window, and he's like shut up, and jumps over to the next rooftop. And I think we get like a little bit of a scene of like we see Inferno like using his firepower to like shoot through the air after you, and Soul Impact is like jumping from like a building rooftop to like the side of a building, or like a fire escape, like running on a fire escape and then leaping off of it. And we see him doing like some really sick jump moves, and we see Inferno in the background like weaving. And his flames are very like, his way of flying through the air is very different than Dragon's. Dragon has kind of like the Ozai like flame burst that is more contained. His is like trails of flame. So like as he's following, there's like trails of flame that's like spraying across the buildings.
Is there like a really tall building around us?
Sure. There's one particularly tall building.
Okay. Get us there. Tall building.
Yeah. He just like, I don't think he says anything. He's just like panics, and yeah, he just like
I tell
jumps
Dragon
towards
where we're going.
Yeah, I think.
And I'm just like, how high can you launch me with your feet?
Kick me as hard as you can.
I want him to like get on his back and like do like like my feet on top of his feet and just like jump while he kicks me into the air.
Okay,
I'm pretty sure that's just him kicking you.
Yeah, well, we could see if that might hurt.
Style.
That might break your legs.
Yeah.
He's got very powerful legs. That's fine. Okay. Yeah. So he like jumps to the building, but like he can't quite get to the top of it. So he probably like jumps to it and like grabs on.
I'm gonna make little stairs for him. Like I just like come out of the side of the building for him to jump on.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. He was gonna make it up either way, so I'm not gonna make you roll for that. So yeah, that's
just
cool.
The teamwork.
Yep. The teamwork. Yeah. So he's like thanks, and uses some fancy footwork on your little carbon footsteps. Yeah. So you tell Dragon where you're going, and Dragon over the comms is like coughing and wheezing, and he's like, "I'm coming. Just get out if you can."
He's too fast for that. Just get here and save me from my stupidity, please.
So Soul Impact like growls. He's so irritated with you.
Right. Okay, there's no way we could have escaped him by just running.
Yeah, but the way that you're making it sound is like you're happy that you can't escape. So he's like so frustrated.
I mean, he ain't wrong. It's 50-50. Like he's I wouldn't say he's happy, but he's his honor is on the line and his uncle's life is at risk. So
yep.
He is glad that he's able to stay and help. But
right. Yeah. So I think you get to the top of the building, and Inferno is like he's like at one of the other buildings, and like you get to the top of,
and like this whole time we're running, he's just like gathering carbon again, trying to make enough to make the big explosion.
Yeah, so he's like gathering the footsteps after he jumps off of it.
It's not monoxide yet; it's just dioxide right now. Otherwise
right.
It probably would have. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, gathering it up as you go, and I think Inferno is like hesitates at the one of those like smaller buildings around this, I don't know, skyscraper or whatever it is, and then he like walks off of the building and like launches himself just like straight up towards the top.
So yeah, we're at the top, and I'm like, okay, on my go, like I was like, get on your back and put your feet in the air and launch me.
Yeah, I don't think Soul Impact wants to do that. He's like, I don't think the physics of that. I think I just would crush you, or break your legs.
I've got strong legs, and then I look at his legs and I'm like, oh wait, just like, well, I probably should have thought of that earlier, but we're past the point of no return.
Yeah, I think he looks at Inferno coming, and he's like, how high do you need to get?
As high as you can get me without killing me.
He's like, oh, man, this better work. And he picks you up, like sweeps you off your feet, and like jumps up into the I think maybe there's like a radio tower or something on top of here, some sort of like metallic structure, and he like uses that as like a ladder rung. He's like kind of like getting a running start, but like vertically. He's like using it as like a ladder, and then he like jumps off the tip of that as far as he can, and then like throws you.
On our way up. Oh wait, he's throwing me. He's not like.
Yes, he just jumps with you.
Okay.
And then just falls, and we see Inferno like zipping up right as soon as he like lets go of you and throws you. And
I'm just praying.
So like the three of you. So like you're here. We get a side view. Like you're here. Inferno's like shooting up from here, and like Soul Impact's just like off to the side. So like Soul Impact is going to be in this blast.
Yeah, that's why I wanted him to launch me.
Yeah, but he knew that all that was going to do is just hurt you. He's like, that's not going to work. So he's like, I'm just going to risk it too. I'll be in the blast. He knows what's going on. He doesn't know that you're going to make an explosion, but he's like, I'm going to put myself in danger.
Can I wait till like the last second where it'll be me and Inferno in the explosion instead of?
No, I don't think there's any way.
So then it would have to be all three of us then in the explosion.
All three of you are going to be in the explosion, I think. I don't think there's enough time. And unless, if you want to retcon this, if you want to try and roll to provoke someone, you could try and roll to get Soul Impact to purposefully break your legs. But I don't know if that's the way you want to go, because you still have to check 2 more time boxes.
No, I thought the defense one was one of the time boxes.
Oh no, that was just not dying.
Oh well, not dying consumes time.
Yes and no. So like I get to make moves when villains take conditions, right? And so that's how I'm treating these time boxes, right? You're not just making successful rolls. I also get to like change the narrative and make danger for you.
Okay. Well, if I let him get to me, is he just gonna like? I mean, he's not gonna kill me, right? He just wants to capture me.
I don't think you have any idea what this guy wants to do.
Can I pierce the mask?
I don't think you have anything to go off of.
Okay.
You rolled and assessed the situation earlier.
Mm-hmm.
But you didn't choose to try and figure that out. You just chose to. I think you asked like, what can I use here, or what's the greatest threat? I don't think you. I forget what you asked, but it wasn't to try and figure out that he's after you or why he's after you.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I could roll to shield him, and then do.
No, I think you got time for one or the other. And I'm being quote unquote mean about this because this is the biggest threat.
Oh yeah, I know.
Like this is a red level villain that's coming after a sidekick and another sidekick.
How tough does Beaver Boy look?
He looks furry.
Easily flammable.
Bears are furry.
He's a furry.
Tough.
No.
No, I mean, half he furry. Looks furry.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna try and wait long enough for him to get out of the. Is it feasible that like he will get out of there eventually. I mean, he's falling. So, like, how much time?
Well, he's not going to stay in the air forever. But if you don't do something, Inferno is going to grab you, and I'm probably going to have you roll to take a powerful blow.
Okay.
Keep in mind, if you explode the air around you, I'm also going to have you take a powerful blow. But you'll definitely, track a time box if you succeed.
What does taking a powerful blow do exactly?
If so, you don't want to get high; you want to get low.
Mhm.
If you on a miss, you stand strong. You mark potential and say how you weather the blow. On a 10 plus, you choose one. You must remove yourself from the situation. You lose control of yourself or your powers in a terrible way, or 2 options from the 7 to 9 list. And the 7 to 9 list is you struggle past the pain and mark 2 conditions. You lash out verbally, provoke a teammate to foolhardy action, or take advantage of your influence to inflict a condition. You give ground. Your opposition gets an opportunity.
Man. Yeah. Okay. Let's group think this, guys. What do you think I should do?
Yeah. I mean, can't you just use a version of your powers that doesn't involve can't you just like shoot him with a spike or something, right? Something that is a smaller scale but can like buy you time. Is that an option?
Yes, but I think that would be relatively the same. I think that would be past the what he can do with his powers as of now, because he'd be changing gas to a solid, which he hasn't.
Well, yeah, but you're on a building, right? Can't you just like turn the concrete into a giant spike that he has to fly into or something? I don't know. I just feel like we went straight to nuclear bomb, and I wondered if there was some maybe steps along the way that we could have tried.
It went very fast, and I thought that I was going to have time to explode him when neither of us were in the radius.
Right. No, I mean, it was a good call. I mean, given who it is, nuclear bomb was probably not the wrong direction to go. But yeah, I mean, if you're going to catch him in a blast, maybe there's something else you can do I mean, the thing is, he has to breathe. If you can just like take all of just put only carbon dioxide on his face, or monoxide, even better. Then he just can't breathe, right? You do what that airbender guy does.
Well, monoxide will explode right away. So
that's true. Well, yeah. Could you just make smaller pockets of monoxide? Just make small explosions, like a minefield in the air?
Yeah. Yes and no. I mean, the way carbon monoxide works, that wouldn't.
Yeah, but you're manipulating it, right? You're basically airbending it right now. So you could just make little pockets,
maybe,
and then he wouldn't be able to move because he wouldn't know where the explosions were, right?
That's an interesting idea, but I think it's too outside of the scope of something he's never done before, right? To create centralized pockets.
Like explosion-wise, that's just not the way monoxide works. Like, you need a lot of it.
Oh, sure. I mean, I don't know the first thing about carbon monoxide.
Oh yeah. No, I did some research.
I just know it's poisonous.
I can imagine.
Well, then just do dioxide. Then just if you surround his face with carbon dioxide, he'll choke to death eventually. But I mean, I suppose you'll have to survive long enough for him to choke to death.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. I just feel like there's probably some options that won't blow the other guy up. Right. I feel like.
In other situations, yes, but I'm in the air with how far away from the tower am I at this point?
You guys are all far enough away that the tower itself won't explode, but everyone in this situation will. I'm not saying you're going to kill Soul Impact.
Right.
Potentially you could, depending on what the role here is. But I'm not saying if you succeed, Soul Impact dies.
Mm-hmm. You have telepathic control of your ability, or like your telekinetic control of your abilities, right?
Yeah.
Can you just like take the concrete that you're standing on and just fly with it?
Yeah.
Just do that. Because you're trying to get away from him. If you can get away from him, then you can use your bomb. Right?
Yeah. Can I just telepathically fling myself even further into the air with the carbon, Connor?
That is a roll.
Okay. This is something you've done on a smaller scale before with a little disc on the last episode.
You just make a disc and stand on it and then push.
Just catapult myself.
Well, can't you just like stay on it and move it? You'd have to move.
Oh yeah,
you'd have to be like
with the speed at which I would do it, I'd basically just be flinging myself.
Oh sure, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
going up against like a rocket propelled man.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I suppose maybe the speed you could generate by just moving it with yourself, maybe that wouldn't be fast enough. But I'm just saying, because you're just trying to make distance between you and Beaver Boy, right? So you can blow up.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have to be far.
Okay.
I mean, soul impact.
All right, Connor. What's the ob?
You're just rolling unleash your powers.
I was 7.
Hey, thanks,
there you
David.
go.
Take a condition, I guess.
So yeah, you on a hit you do it. On a 7 to 9, mark a condition, or the GM will tell you how the effect is unstable or temporary.
So which one is it?
You decide.
Oh,
Either you mark a condition, or I'll tell you how the effect is unstable or
temporary. So,
the idea is that you're flinging yourself, right?
Yeah.
So that you're getting farther out of his reach.
So I can't use the mechanism again to either save myself or.
Yeah, I think you use it, but he burns up the carbon, like trailing after you, right? So now all you have is the gas that you've brought with in carbon form. So there's nothing to shield yourself or stop yourself as you fall after this explosion.
Right. I do it.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Did I manage to fling myself far enough away to not be caught in the explosion, or am I still?
You're definitely caught in the explosion.
That's fine.
Yeah.
All right.
So for this roll, this is definitely directly engaging a threat. Do you have something where you're rolling freak instead of?
It costs 1 condition, or not 1 condition. Sorry, 1 point.
Doom sign.
Yeah. No. It costs 1 burn.
Oh, it costs 1 burn. Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead. Are you going to auto succeed with burn as well? You have.
Well, we'll
you?
see. We'll see after the roll.
Oh, you can wait until after the roll to change it.
Wait. Where is it? Let me read this. It doesn't say when. It just says spend 2 burn to take a +10.
Well, if you're getting a +10, that would be for the roll, right? So I think that would be before the roll. You don't get. I don't think you get to add modifiers afterwards. Well,
it's not. It's a modifier.
It's take a 10+, not a +10.
Oh, okay.
Sorry,
but
no, you're fine.
I think it makes more sense to say you have to spend it to get the 10+ instead of retroactively, because otherwise you just kind of get a free roll to see if you don't have to spend the burn beforehand.
But also, I was thinking because I was like, oh, you can't really do modifiers after, but you can with teams. So I don't know.
I think the team specifically specifies though, like when it's like if you are using it to like change your labels, you can do it. That label can still affect the roll, that kind of a thing.
True.
So I think you should either spend it or roll.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I'll spend the 2 burn, I guess.
Okay. All right. So 10+. You pick 2. You trade blows and you pick 2. You either can resist or avoid their blows, take something from them, create an opportunity for your allies, impress, surprise, or frighten the opposition.
Create an opportunity, obviously. And would avoiding their blows be avoiding my own blow since he's not hitting me? He's just exploding.
Yeah, you're causing the explosion. So, I think if you want to resist or avoid their blows, you'd be resisting or avoiding his blows, right? Okay. Which would be marking a condition. But this explosion that you're doing is still going to make you roll to take a powerful blow, since you're doing that on yourself.
Well, yeah. If I don't do that, would he still get a hit on me, or is he just exploding?
I think he would still get a hit on you. He's still like attacking you with flames, right?
Yeah,
which is what's causing the explosion.
I'll avoid his attack and create an opportunity for Dragon to do stuff. But yeah, I just go full Chiaotzu and explode myself. Someone watching this will get that reference.
So create an opportunity for your allies.
Yeah.
Sorry, 1 second. I think the opportunity. Does he get to decide? Like, what does this look like when you say create an opportunity for your allies? Do you decide then what opportunity you're creating?
Well, I assume
Or do I?
I assume you do, but the only ally that could do anything is Dragon.
Yeah. So let's just say I think you're supposed to say it. So
Oh, okay.
if you
Well,
want
I
to,
was
otherwise,
telling
yeah, Dragon comes,
yeah,
right?
and I mean, I already set it up like, hey, Dragon, this is where
Yep.
I'm going. Be ready.
Yep. Yeah. So you make an explosion, and it's 10 o'clock. So let's wrap this up. Here comes both boxes, right? Go ahead and roll to take a powerful blow. But he shoots his flames at you, and you just barely avoid them by.
I mean, I think just the force of the explosion kind
force
of
of the explosion. You get flung away by the explosion, but not his flames.
Yeah.
And so you blow up, and he blows up down.
Woo. Where is the?
You roll yet? Plus conditions marked.
Okay. Where? How do I do that?
I don't know. I think there's a roll on there that's roll to take a powerful blow, but I don't know for sure.
Oh,
I think it should be in your basic.
It's right at the top of conditions. Yeah.
I was confused because that's usually what I roll for burn, but I guess it's the same.
Yeah, it is.
Button.
Yeah.
So I'm going for under 10.
Oh, you're going for as low as possible.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this also has staged success.
I don't know. I'm kind of excited to get a 10 plus for one of the abilities I have. But okay. Yeah. Let's go, baby.
No way.
Nice.
Okay, yeah. So you mark potential as normal and say how you weather the blow.
I think he pulls the carbon like out of his hair, and it makes like a makeshift shield out of it.
Beautiful hair.
So he basically just gives himself a haircut.
No way. Nice. Are you just bald then?
No, he's got like
you thin out your hair.
Yeah.
Okay.
He probably just cuts it off at the neck basically.
Shoulder, sure. Yeah.
It makes like a makeshift shield out of it.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Also, you could totally turn those into 500 thin hair thin daggers. Yeah. Like needles. Just throw them at people. That'd be awful.
Yep. Okay. So, and he explodes down. He's going to mark both things here because you can also create an opportunity for your allies. So yeah, Dragon swoops up from underneath. He sees this opportunity and just jet propels himself up towards him, and I think I think you're still up high enough, and that he just fires a big fire volley at him, Inferno uses his flames to create a flame shield, and he has to completely back off. He propels himself away from Dragon and just narrowly escapes death. As Dragon is doing this huge flame volley above the city.
As I'm flying away to my doom, I whisper I say to he probably can't hear me, but I say to Inferno, "You look a little burnt out," and then I die.
You don't die. No, I mean.
No, that was the GM, the typical GM joke. When you make a bad pun, your character dies.
Oh, okay, yeah. No, so I think as you're falling down, right, Soul Impact jumps from the top of this skyscraper building, and catches you and rolls in through a window, to spare you from falling to your death.
Nice.
And we see Inferno land atop a building, and he looks singed and scared, and Dragon just kind of waits to see what he's going to do, because he's okay, now we're down, so if he fires off more flames, the city is going to be more burned, and he glances behind himself, and the city is on fire. Multiple city blocks are burning because of this huge battle. And we get a more like electric guitar kind of music. And we see Inferno on this building getting pelted by propulsion. And we see Trigger show up, who is a rising star hero, or rising hero, or whatever it's called. If Caleb, if you can show his token, that'd be appreciated. And he starts chasing down Inferno, and he points his fingers like this and pushes down with his thumb and can fire off propulsion blasts. And
way to kill steal. Come on, dude.
And he just to shorten up the scene, he just like is doing like with both hands, like doing this, and then from behind him he's flicking his fingers to like keep himself in the air as he's like flying after him. That's cool. He like patches into your guys' comms, and he's like or no, he does that, and he like kind of scares him off a bit, and Inferno basically just like flies away from the city. And Trigger goes and lands by Dragon, and Dragon's like getting ready to chase after him, and Trigger's like, "Hey, are you kidding me right now? Look at the burning building. You control the flames. I'll go after Inferno." And he like chases after him.
And that's the last time we ever see Trigger.
Yeah, I was gonna say we can find his body later.
But we'll wrap up there. We'll leave kind of like the final conversations for later.
Cool.
Yeah.
No after show. We should just finish up.
Sure. I don't know if anybody else had to go at 10. I had a soft out, so if we want to do an after show, that's fine.
I should go.
Okay. Sounds good. Okay. This has been Heroes in Training. Thanks for playing, guys. And thank you for watching.
See you next week.
Yes.
Or not next week. Well, probably next week, but maybe not doing this. Yep.
No,